Hey guys, welcome back. Andrew here with Ambient Endeavors, and today we're doing a little bit of a different kind of video, perhaps an unlikely video for the channel here. And if you are a regular to the videos here on Instagram, you probably have noticed I have a pretty wide variety of different guitars in the studio. I love being able to have options. I love being able to pick up a different instrument when I've got a sound in my head or a different style that I'm kind of leaning into. But what you maybe also have noticed is that I almost never play a Stratocaster. And so I thought I'd do this video on kind of talking about my love-hate relationship with the Stratocaster. And as I've actually ironically gotten a couple Strat style guitars in the last few months, I thought it'd be a fun way to kind of showcase the now 4 Strats that I have in the studio, talk a little bit about what I love and hate about each of them, some of the context that I might pick them up or use them for, and then we'll see at the end of the video if my mind's changed about the Strat or if I'm sort of entrenched in that love-hate relationship still. Before we dive in, though, I wanted to get your guys' thoughts and opinions. If you have a favorite Strat, if you've got a favorite Strat-wielding guitar player, if you love or hate the Strat yourself, drop a comment below and let's talk about all things Stratocasters. So we're going to start with this instrument. This is either a late 90s or early 2000s Deluxe Super Strat. It's a Mexican-made Stratocaster. It was my very first electric guitar that I bought in high school. I think I was, 14 years old or something. I remember because I can vividly remember standing in the kitchen of my house as a high schooler and overhearing my dad as he's calling the seller, the eBay seller, on the phone, making sure that everything is legit on the listing. And I think I paid $325 for this guitar. He sent off a check to the seller, and a week later we got the guitar in the mail, and I was just elated to go from a Squier Affinity Strat to this Mexican-made Deluxe Super Strat was just pretty cool as a high schooler. One of my favorite things about this guitar then and still now is this button below here that allows you to, in pickup positions 5 and 4, add in the bridge pickup. So you get some like clarity and some added brightness and sparkle to those otherwise kind of darker or rounder sounding positions there. So yeah, that's the first Strat and the first electric guitar in my collection. It's the one guitar, kind of one of a very few number of guitars that I have a pretty strong sentimental attachment to. So it sticks around regardless of whether I'm playing it much or not. For me, it was a really fun guitar to have in high school. I was really into learning and playing blues guitar, and so the Strat is a pretty obvious reach for that. You can also get some cool kind of quacky and funky sounds from those in-between positions. I was playing in a ska band at the time, so that was also a sound I was kind of going for occasionally, and so in those two instances, the Strat was definitely something that fit the bill for those sounds. One of the things I just really don't like about Strats is the fact that you have this middle pickup. The playability and the sort of hand and pick positioning on the right hand always just feels a little bit encumbered for me. Maybe that's something I just got to get over with technique or whatnot, but for me, that is one thing about the Stratocaster that I kind of hate. And one of the reasons why I often reach for 2 pickup guitars that kind of have that built-in space between the pickups to let your right hand have some space while you're picking or strumming. Let's hear the Deluxe Super Strat here, and hear it with some cleans in those pickup combinations, and then also some kind of funky Strat tones too. had a couple other Strats since originally buying that red Strat that have come and gone. But one of the most recent Strats I purchased was this Edge Signature model Strat. And I gotta say, as far as guitars in my collection go, this is not going anywhere. It's one of the most fantastic sounding and playing guitars that I've gotten in. I feel pretty lucky to have tracked one down on Reverb about a year ago, because these just don't come up very often and they are now discontinued. But it is just a fantastically comfortable, beautiful, really great sounding Strat, and kind of my forever Strat in terms of the features and the sounds that this produces. So a really cool American made, kind of spec'd by Edge himself style guitar, with some custom Fat 50s pickups in the neck and middle, and then this really awesome DiMarzio FS1 in the bridge that is kind of screaming hot and bright. It gives you a really fun kind of turbocharged sound when you kick to the bridge there. So this is kind of the Strat that I would pick up if I was going to begin to play Strats pretty regularly. It's really versatile in terms of the sounds of the pickups. The neck and middle have a more vintagey sounding, lower output feel to them while still having a lot of character. And then, like I said, that bridge pickup just kind of screams and interacts with dirt really well, and sparkles and shines in a cool way. So let's check out the Edge Signature Strat with some kind of verby ambience, and also hear it with a bunch of gain from the Beetronics Wannabee overdrive. I just recently got this Player Stratocaster, one of their 70th anniversary two-tone sunburst models here for a project I'm doing with Fender coming up here in May. And this kind of feels like the quintessential kind of everyman Stratocaster. There's no bells and whistles. There's no like push buttons or modded or custom pickups, that sort of thing. It's just the classic spec, classic sounding and feeling Stratocaster. And I think Strats can be really awesome in certain contexts. Obviously, blues is kind of the first thing you think of when you think of Strat players, at least it is for me. Like I mentioned, that's kind of where I began as a guitar player, digging into old players like Clapton and SRV, and then getting into guys like John Mayer, even people like Mark Knopfler or other folks that played the Strat style guitars. And so the Strat really has some of those classic blues style, blues rock style sounds in it. There are some sounds in the Strat that you just can't get anywhere else. I think the 2 and 4 position sounds are really unique. They really kind of help to define the Strat and its sound. But for me, sometimes it's like too versatile, too much of a broad canvas, and not enough of the thing that I kind of want in a guitar. What I end up using often are P90 or lower output humbucker equipped guitars, and so Strats just don't really fall into that category. They don't really have that kind of full rich sound that a humbucker has, while still giving you that kind of low end response with the bright end chime and clarity and stuff. So the Strats feel a little bit out of my wheelhouse for that reason. But if I'm playing things like blues or blues rock, even if I want to do some kind of poppy, snappy, like pop or funk stuff, I definitely reach for a Strat in those situations. This specific guitar solves a nice problem that a traditional Strat has, in that you get a tone control tied to your bridge pickup. It can really be pretty harsh and abrasive at times, that bridge pickup, and so having a tone control tied to that is really helpful. Let's check out this one. You'll have to bear with me. I'm an ambient player now that is going to try his hand at blues again, so you can listen to that for a few minutes and then come on back. We'll talk about the last and kind of a special addition to the Strat roundup here. So this last guitar is kind of an honorable mention. It's not a Fender Strat, obviously. It's the new Yamaha Pacifica Standard Plus. And I have really kind of fallen in love with this guitar and bonded with it. It's a more modernized take on the Stratocaster for a number of reasons. The profile of the neck is a little bit slimmer, a little bit faster than a classic Stratocaster. You've got locking tuners on it. You have this pretty fun and fluid kind of whammy bar on the trem in the back here. You've also got a humbucker in this set of Rupert Neve design pickups, which sound really great. But having that bridge humbucker for me definitely makes it more versatile, makes it a little bit more approachable for the sounds and the settings that I'm wanting to use it in. And so we're going to hear from the Pacifica Standard Plus in a couple different contexts here in the sounds. And if you are into the kind of super Strat thing for more of that rock sound, or to just have more versatility with that humbucker in the bridge, the Pacifica models that they're making right now are really fantastic. Really do a great job at getting some of those sounds, and it's a really, really fun guitar to play too. So we're going to check that out now in the sounds. So those are the 4 Strat style guitars that I have in the collection now. Perhaps kind of overkill, but it's also fun to have each of them for different reasons. That original Tomato Red Deluxe Super Strat just has a place in my heart as being the first electric guitar that I ever had. The Edge Signature model is kind of a forever Strat for me, and one that has some really fantastic sounds and great playability. The brand new Player Series Strat is a great workhorse of a Strat for if I just want to add that sort of sound to a mix. And then the Yamaha Pacifica Standard Plus is a really fun super Strat style that gives you that humbucker in the bridge, a more modern approach on the guitar overall. So man, I think this video has definitely made me appreciate the sounds and the sort of fun experience of playing a Strat a little bit more. As you saw in the intro sketch, there's definitely some fun applications in terms of that kind of snappy pop or funk style playing that I really enjoy. I've kind of gotten more into that like 80s sounds with the chorus and reverb and things, and so playing a Strat with that combination of compression, chorus, reverb kind of gives some cool results too. So love them, hate them. There's definitely still some tension there for me, and I do think that while they're wildly versatile guitars and have some sounds you really can't get in any other instruments, there's still a few drawbacks for me in terms of wanting to pick it up and play it as often as I might. So thanks for checking this out. Like I mentioned, drop a comment or a thought below if you are a Strat fan. If you've got some gripes to air about Strats too, drop those below and we can chat about all things Stratocaster. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following along on the channel here. Hit subscribe if you haven't done that already, and we'll see you next time.